Welcome back, everybody. This is tutorial number 6, Classes and IDs. So basically what we did last time was we actually talked about setting up divs and what we actually use divs for. Well, this time what we want to do is we want to actually add a couple different extra elements to the actual div tag. So instead of just having style in here, we want to add what's called ID, or we can actually add what's called a class, or we can actually have both, depending on what we actually want to do with it. So what we can do is, I'll go in here, and most of the time you'll actually see class, if I can spell it right, and that's because class is, oops, what did I do? Undo. Okay. Stupid insert. So the class is more often used because you can actually use class on multiple divs. You don't really want to use ID on multiple divs just because, okay, so let me rephrase that. You can have more than one class. So what we can actually do is we can have a class called first, and let's just go ahead and show this. So what I'm going to do is instead of actually doing it in here, I'm going to actually go to the style sheet and actually change stuff around. So with a class, let's go dot first, and then just like any other CSS, and what we're going to do is we're going to actually change the font size. So let's just go font size, and let's go 20 point, and let's save that, and then we go back over here. Okay, so anything that actually has this class of first in here, the font size inside of here should actually be the size of 20. So if we actually run this, we'll run it in Chrome. As you can see, this font size is a lot bigger than last time. So let's go back over here. Let's change this to 25. Oops, why did it go there? Let's go to 25. And we come back over here, refresh, and you see that it's actually gotten bigger. So even with this being an H2, this class can actually change this. Now if there is a style right in here for this H2, then that would take precedence over this right here. So what we actually want to do is we can go in here, let's add another class, and let's call it color, because we want to give it a little bit of color. So let's go dot color, and let's go, oops, colon, and let's go green. Okay, so now let's go back over here and we'll save this, and let's refresh, and now you see that it actually goes with green. So as you see, you can have multiple classes for a div, which means you can go down here and we can actually put in the class equals, and just say color for this one, and then we save it, bring this back up, and as you see, It just changes this, but it doesn't add what we have into first. So now with the ID, ID should be actually used to describe what you are actually trying to work with. So if we actually want to say that both of these are part of the top part, so we normally call that the header. So if we want to actually say that this is part of the header, we could actually say ID equals, and let's go header left, put a space here, and let's take this, and actually I want to change that, and let's put it right here. Let's put that dash, delete, and we're going to go right. So now what we can actually do is we go over here and we actually do this, and we go header left, and then we put in here what we want to do, and we do the same thing for header right, and let's go black, and then let's save this, and we go back over here, and what we actually need to do is we need to take out these right here, because these would actually take precedence over what is actually in there. So let's save this, let's go over here, let's refresh. Now you see, okay, I forgot blue again, let's go with red, and here we go. That's a little bit better, not as bad, but as you see, we can change it just like that. But the IDs are mainly used to actually describe stuff. So normally what we would do is, see how we've actually got the divs right here, we would end up actually creating a div that would go in here and actually go around everything, and we'll take this and space it over, and inside here we would actually call this one ID equals, stupid double quotes, and we would actually call this container. Now inside this container we would actually go over to here, and we would actually do the same thing, and inside here what we would do is we could actually set the width and the height to whatever we basically wanted to. Now what we'll do is, let's go a 1200, oops, 1200, actually we're going to make this right. Let's go with 100 VW, which is view width, and 100 VH for view height. Okay, and let's save that, and then save that. Okay, so that will actually help out with resizing stuff. So then we can actually change the header stuff for this to actually make it look different. So if we go over here, hit refresh, see how it kind of made it a little bit wider. That's because we actually set it to the size of this actual screen right here, so you can actually see the actual width of this. So if we go and then we actually set the style over here to, let's say, 1200 px, and this would be, let's just say, 800 px, then we go back over, open this up, you see that it got larger. Well, that's because we set the actual size of what it's going to end up actually being. We didn't go by what the actual view width was. We don't care about resizability or anything. We're just actually putting in the actual height and width of what we want. Now if we actually go back and we undo, save, and refresh, now if we actually move this, as you see, it resizes. So that's what we kind of want to do with resizability. And I just seen that I had a misspelling. I told you I can't spell. So now it scrolls. So this was basically just about the IDs and the actual classes, and to learn a little bit about the classes. So as you see, now we've gotten into more detail. We've actually got a div that's a container that actually does hold everything in there. You set the size of this container, and then basically everything in here will set on the size of this. So basically, if we were to set this to 1200 by 800, then the width of this is going to still be 50, and the width of this is still going to be 30. But you want something that is more flexible. Next time, I'm going to actually go over types of positions to actually go into more of the styling, so we can actually take this and actually move it up and down, or any way that we actually want to be a little bit more creative. So just stay tuned, and thank you for watching. See you next time.